News. President Trump says there will be no more debates against Kamala Harris. Trump posted on Truth Social that Harris refused to do a debate on Fox News. And after woke Disney, their ABC outlet pulled, leftist media is just out of the question for President Trump. So this begs the question, why doesn't Kamala want to risk having to answer questions about her policy pronouncements and record on maybe a right-leaning network? For more, let's bring in actor and filmmaker Dean Cain. Good to see you as always, sir. What do you make of this announcement? Kamala Harris can't hack any tough questions, so no more debates.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much par for the course. If you can't get your sorority sister or, some people who are clearly on your side to be asking the questions and fact-checking your opponent, but not you, then why bother? I guess that's their philosophy, it's just patently ridiculous because the American people need to know where she stands on policy. And she hasn't answered any questions. It's a lot of platitudes. Did she hold up well in the debate? Yeah, fine, great. But there's a lot of questions around that. I think, President Trump will walk right into the lion's den. He sat there and took questions and will take questions from anybody in any environment, and he'll answer the questions. And that's what we need in a leader here in America. And if she's afraid to talk about her policy positions or take questions, then I really have to question what she's doing running in this race.
Yeah, well, me too. And then, of course, speaking of the left-wing sister movement, Taylor Swift come out and endorsed Kamala Harris. And since that happened, registrations have gone up, though we can't attribute all of them to her. The appeal to low-information voters, I get it. But what's your sense? Do people vote based on what their favorite rapper or their bubblegum music artist says?
I sure hope they don't. And that's the same thing when I endorse a candidate. Like, don't listen to me. Do your research. And fortunately, Taylor says that. She says, go do your research. But she talks about why she chose him. And one of the things, or chose her, and one of the things that's so scary about it is that she said because of Tim Walz and his record on LGBTQ things. And Megyn, I don't know if you watched it today, but Megyn Kelly went off on a tirade that says things better than I'll ever say it. So check out her tirade on Taylor on this one. But apparently like 300,000 plus people have gone on and have checked out the site since she talked about it.
Yeah.
The thing that's great. That's a big number and good for her. But honestly, don't listen to your favorite celebrity, myself included, or anybody else like that. Do your research, figure it out. However, 40 million Christians in this nation don't vote. And that's the thing that drives me crazy. So if, she can get 300,000, 330,000 people out to check out the voting things, I'd like to get a fraction of those 40,000 or 40 million Christians out there and voting their. I think this swings this election 100%.
Well, you took me right where I wanted to go, because the Capitol Visitors Center initially denying a screening of your movie, God's Not Dead. Here are the people who shot that screening down initially. We're putting them up on the screen so people can see their names. House Speaker Mike Johnson secured a committee room for the screening ultimately. But, it shouldn't have to come to that. Left-wing causes are routinely allowed and celebrated in the Capitol. But conservative causes have to go through all these hoops, right? Your opinion, do you think Washington, D.C. is turning its back on America's godly heritage?
Oh, yes. There's zero question about it. They've been trying to get God out of politics, out of the public sphere, its public domain and discussions for as long as I can remember. And that goes back to that whole point. Now, if there are 40 million Christians out there who aren't voting, maybe you should get out there and vote your values if you want to protect them. The fact that they pulled this screening, and I was supposed to be there. I have to be in L.A. I'm at my brother's house. It's a nice house. Here, I have to be in here for work for a day. Otherwise, I'd be at D.C. And they last second pulled the screening of this film because, I think we know why they pulled it. They don't want, Christians going out and voting. They don't want people to see this movie and go, maybe I should vote my values. And they last second pulled it. And Mike Johnson, blessed speaker for this, and Congressman Jordan found a place to do it, but it's tiny in comparison. So we had to sort of pull this together. I talked to my producer today, and we had to pull it together last second because they don't want people to see this movie. And if they fear the movie, it tells us we're right over target.
Yep. Shame on Washington for pulling these kinds of shenanigans. Dean Cain, best luck with the movie. Can't wait to see it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.